Hi everyone, and welcome to this focus today on student success and your anthropology class. So we just want to address some issues here in order to really get you thinking about how to be successful in this class. And I always tell my students that student success in a class is really just not about getting a grade. In fact, if you're only focused on a grade, it's often one of the worst approaches to take because it kind of creates what folks like Paulo Freire, who is an educational thinker, called instrumental education, where you're focused only on getting through the class as quickly as possible with the highest grade possible. So hopefully we can think about it as a much more personal journey through your class. So let's talk about some of these tips today to give you a sense of how to really improve your student success in the anthropology class that you're taking here at Lake Tahoe Community College. So number one, super important, read the entire syllabus. And in addition to the syllabus, you should go through the entire Canvas page. All of my classes have navigation videos that walk you through the class, that show you how to find everything, that show you due dates, that show you how to complete assignments, that show you the basics of how to navigate your Canvas class. So reading the entire syllabus is really paramount in terms of being successful in the class because you'll know everything that you need to do in this class. So it seems like common sense, but I find that a lot of people don't read the syllabus. In fact, you might even have a quiz focused on your understanding of the syllabus. So be sure to understand it in its entirety. Second is related to this, get very familiar with Canvas. So Canvas is the LMS or learning management system that we use to deliver our online classes since we don't meet in person. And these are fully online classes. If you're new to Canvas, there are some things to learn, how to navigate the site, how to find certain things, how to move through the module pages so that you can progress through elements that require you to read them in order or in a particular time sequence. Also, there's an inbox that you can use that's really handy to get hold of me, and there are places within Canvas that you have to familiarize yourself with so you can learn how to do things like your discussions, your quizzes, any of your writing assignments, and so forth. And again, that navigation video that I offer for every anthropology class is really key in getting that familiarity with Canvas, especially if you're new to it for the first time. Next is understanding all assignments and due dates. Be aware of my policies, including my no makeup policies. You need to know when assignments are due. You need to know what's involved in those assignments, if they have a word count requirement, and so forth. It's your responsibility. I'm really asking you to take personal responsibility in this class. If you forget when something is due or you neglected to look up a due date, please don't ask me for a makeup because it's really showing a lack of professionalism on your part and it's showing a lack of awareness about what's necessary to be a student in our community college. You're responsible for your own work. You have to work independently in an online class, and if you don't do that, very often you won't be successful. Next is I really recommend, hopefully you're getting this if you're watching this video today, watch all my videos. I put these together in order to really give you a heads up on class materials, mini lectures, information that's going to help you be successful on quizzes, on discussion posts, and so forth. So the students who watch the videos and participate generally do a much better job in my online classes. As well, if we offer some live Zoom sessions, very similar to the videos, if you can attend one, it's great. In some cases, I'll give you an opportunity to attend one of those mini live Zoom sessions, and you might be able to get out of an assignment. So just be on the lookout for that if that's an option in your class. And any such options like that will be stated on your syllabus very clearly. Next, very important, dedicate the necessary time for the class. You need to put in the time to be successful in a class. It's not something you can just do a couple minutes a week. You have to put in hours. You have to do the reading. Everyone is different in terms of their level of preparation. You don't need any previous social science experience to be successful in an anthropology class, but having some foundation helps you certainly over time. If you don't have that foundation, you have to put in more time and have to really dedicate yourself to the class. So super important to do this when you're taking any class, but for sure in an anthropology class. Take personal responsibility. So this is really key because I have policies that state that you have to be professional in your class, you have to follow the rules of the assignments, you have to know your due dates, you have to know I don't do makeups except in the cases that I stipulate in that makeup module that I talk about this issue as well as the video. This all requires that you take personal responsibility. If someone comes to me and says, I didn't know when the due date was, please give me a makeup, I'll actually throw that back at you and say, well, no, actually, you didn't put in the time to learn and to take personal responsibility as far as understanding when an assignment was due. It's not my responsibility to reach out to every single student in the class and remind them of a due date. This is part of higher education. This is part of passing through college and making sure you do the required work. If you can't do that, if you can't take personal responsibility, you have to really try to improve on that. And that's one of the number one keys to student success in any class, and certainly in one of my anthropology classes. And related to that, and I'm not trying to be mean about this, but don't make excuses. If you miss an assignment, it's not my responsibility. It's your responsibility to know when that assignment is due. You also have to find the time available to put in to take your classes and to be successful in those classes. If you're doing too much with family, with work, with school, you sometimes have to think about rearranging your time, doing some work, juggling things around, maybe opting out of some opportunities, including maybe not taking as many classes as you're taking. Because if you're loading up on excuses and saying it's someone else's responsibility that you're not being successful in the class, most times it's the case that it's really not about the other folks out there, the class itself. It's about you and just figuring out a plan for success in your class, in life, and so forth. And believe me, it's possible. A lot of people deal with adversity. I know people during 2019, 2021 dealt with a lot of adversity related to COVID, and a lot of people adapted. But it was really hard, and it was hard for all of us. So we have to all take personal responsibility in everything that we do in life. This is very important since we meet online. A lot of times in online classes, things can get a little aggressive because people are maybe used to social media as a way of communicating with others. A class in higher education is not the same as social media. So you have to be professional in all class interactions. It's not the same as logging onto Twitter or TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and interacting with people. There's a higher level in terms of the expectations of professionalism in anthropology classes, so I'm asking you to please be professional in all your class interactions, and I have some very specific policies related to student behavior, student conduct, class discussions that you should also watch and read about. They're available as module pages as well as supplemental videos. Then lastly, this is very important. Make your learning personal and meaningful. As I said at the beginning of this video, you shouldn't think about taking a class just to get a grade and doing the minimum work required to get that grade. If you make a class like anthropology, whatever class you're taking, meaningful and personal, it will be a form of what Noam Chomsky calls intellectual self-defense. It'll allow you to understand your social world better. It'll hopefully allow you to put a check on your own biases, as we all have biases and prejudices that we bring to our own social lives. So making your learning personal and meaningful can be really great in your anthropology class. It's one of my most important tips for student success, and it goes well beyond grades and anything that's on your transcript. It's about transformation, personal transformation, self-understanding and awareness, and hopefully making a difference in our social lives in the various social worlds in which we interact. So thanks for listening today to this video on student success in your anthropology class. As always, if you have other questions, please reach out through the Canvas inbox or another means of communication, and I'll be happy to answer that question and make your journey through your anthropology class here at Lake Tahoe Community College as successful as possible. Good luck, and I'll talk to you again soon.